All right, welcome to Yearbook Boot Camp week 4. This is the last week. I think it's pretty amazing that this is even a thing, that you can put a year's worth of pictures and memories in one book in 4 weeks. Even if you are not quite caught up to where you wanted to be, it still doesn't take very long with this design and print, and so you'll be on your way in no time. So we are going to talk about one broad subject today, and well, actually two, and then get going with our work time. So today I want to talk about tips for consistency. One of the things I love about this whole Yearbook Boot Camp plan is that once you've done it once and you kind of know the little tips and tricks and ideas of what to do, you can do this by yourself again and again and again. And you can stay consistent with, being caught up on your pictures. And I just love that. So I do definitely want to talk about some tips for consistency. And then we will have our work time and complete pages in our books from September, October, November, and December of whatever year you're working on. So that will be today's goal, is to finish it up. Before you order, though, I want you to make sure that you look at the deals tab at the Forever website where you're working, right? Up along the top, there are a bunch of little tabs, and one is called deals, and that's where all the sales are. So there are coupon codes that you would copy and then put in your when you're checking out, there's a place for a coupon code. So make sure that you check the deals tab. Books and other print products are almost always somewhere between 20 and 50% off, like almost all the time. And if a storybook, the book size that you are working on right now is not on sale right now, just wait a week or two, because sales change all the time. Sales change about every 2 weeks. So just keep that in mind and definitely apply the sales to your book before you check out. And then the last thing to do is order your book. That will be your last, assignment from Yearbook Boot Camp. And again, you can order now or wait for a sale. And just quickly, I want to mention too, there is a what's it called? A bulk discount. If you order 10 or more of the same thing, you get an extra 10% off. And don't forget that your club savings, if you decided to join Forever Club, that 5% off, that's automatically applied. You don't need a coupon code or anything like that. That's automatically applied to your order. And so is that large order discount too, bulk order. And I was going to say one more thing. That's okay. It'll come back to me. Okay. So tips for consistency. So like I said, one of the things I love about Yearbook Boot Camp is that it gives you momentum. Like you got like a plan now and you've done it once. And so now you just keep going. You've just learned that you can preserve photos and memories. It's not something for everyone else. It's for you. And once Yearbook Boot Camp is over, there are still more memories and photos ready to happen, and also others that you just haven't preserved yet. So here are 8 tips for consistency so that you can keep going. And what I want you to do is just try them on for size. What works for you? These are tips of things that are things that I've tried, things that work for me, and things that I've seen work for other people. And some of them aren't really the same thing. It's like, here's a tip, or if you don't like that, you could do it this other way type thing. So just try it on for size and see what works for you. If you want to grab a piece of paper and a pen or pencil to take some notes, you're welcome to. The first idea that I want you to try on for size is to make an appointment with yourself. I think this is huge. The things that we mean to do don't really get done sometimes if they're not on our calendar. If we don't say, okay, Sunday afternoon, I'm going to do this. So set aside the time and keep your appointment with yourself just like you'd keep it with a friend or the doctor or your hairstylist, right? This is my photo time with me. It's an appointment, okay? And I want you to consider your photo time as whatever your photos need: organizing, decluttering, downloading photos from your phone to your digital location, preserving them in photo storybooks or scrap pages, whatever your pictures need. And I also want you, I mentioned this, I think, in the first class, I want you to consider it your heart healthy, soul healthy, self-care, good for you, me time. Don't think of it as a chore. It's way different than mopping the floor. It's way, way different. It's so good for your heart and soul. It's that connection with yourself is so vital, especially in this crazy, crazy world we live in. A little time for just you and your memories is really good for you. So think about it that way. So making an appointment with yourself could look like an hour every Friday night, 3 hours on the first Sunday of every month, 15 minutes every day, whatever works for you. So that is strategy idea number 1, to make an appointment with yourself. Keep in mind that it adds up. An hour every Friday night is 52 hours a year. 3 hours the first Sunday of each month is 48 hours a year. And 15 minutes every day is an hour and a half a week, or 78 hours a year. So just think about this. If that's more time than you're currently spending on your photos, think about the difference that that can make. All right, so I call it scheduled committed time for the win. All right, here's another idea to try on. Strategy idea number 2, make an appointment with someone else. Sometimes it's easiest to accomplish something when we work with someone else. So set aside a regular time with a sibling, friend, child, or parent, because somebody else needs this too, right? Somebody else wants to work on their photos just like you do. So I have three things that I wanted to mention. The first one is that I've done this when I had little kids. I had a friend who loved scrapbooking, and we would get together and our kids would play, like for the day, for the entire day. And our kids would play and we would talk and have, frozen pizza for lunch. And we just had this whole little, system, this little, I don't know, tradition that we did. And it was awesome. It was great. And I absolutely loved it until I moved away. And then we did it over Zoom. But anyway. And then Jen and Annie are a couple of sisters that I know that are kind of doing the same thing. They get together for lunch every Friday. And while they do, they work on their pictures. There are a couple of other options that I'm going to mention. One is called Photo Friend Finder, which I'll explain in a second here, and Photo Rodeo, rein in your photos. So Photo Friend Finder is just something that I sort of offer to people. If you would like a sort of an accountability partner, somebody to work with, probably over Zoom, because I just have clients all over the country, and so it would probably be an online, FaceTime, Zoom kind of a thing. But if you want someone to work with, let me know. And I put this sort of invitation out for everyone. So if someone else lets me know, then I'll match the two of you together, and you all can work together and then make your appointments with each other for your photos. The other thing that I want to mention is I have an online event called Photo Rodeo, where we can rein in our photos. And it's free. It is just time. It's 2 hours once a quarter. I do one in the summer, one in the fall, one in the winter, one in the spring, for you to do whatever your pictures need. And we sort of, meet online like this. And then you have, Zoom open in one tab, or you can hide it if you want to do, and then your photos in another tab, or just wherever you're working on them on your computer. So that is another great opportunity to just put it on your calendar. All right, strategy idea number 3. This is something that it's a part of memory keeping that I never thought I would become so learned about or passionate about. But over the last few years, that is the main reason that I hear people say that they don't do anything with their photos, is they don't have time. And so I've kind of done a lot of reading about time. And I just have a few thoughts to share on that, to encourage you to sort of re-examine time and change how you think about it. Seneca said, life is long if you know how to use it. And here's some other thoughts. We're all busy. We are. I am. You are. We all are. But are we too busy to be productive? What is all the stuff that we're doing? As a society, we've come to glorify busyness. It becomes a sign of importance, an excuse, and often an acceptable way to waste time. That's from author Ed Baldwin, and he wrote a great article about glorifying busyness. It's called Busy is the New Stupid. It's very interesting. And then Bree Weaver also wrote, busy has become a badge of honor at the expense of gifting our time to ourselves, loved ones, and even strangers. Sadly, it has become the new answer to how are you? Instead of fine or good or well, whatever, it's just busy. I'm busy. I'm busy. So think about, now, this is not to say we aren't. We are all doing things all the time, but there are ideas, things that we can do to cut down on busy, right? Like I go to the store once a week, in part because I don't like shopping, but I'm not spending time running back and forth and running back and forth. So that's one thing that we can consider with our time. Regret for the things we did can be tempered by time. It is regret for the things we did not do that is inconsolable. Don't say you don't have enough time. You have exactly the same number of hours per day that were given to Helen Keller, Louis Pasteur, Michelangelo, Mother Teresa, Leonardo da Vinci, Thomas Jefferson, and Albert Einstein. So again, if you have littles running around at your feet, your time is theirs. If you're caring for an aging parent, your time is theirs. So this does not cover pretty much everyone. This has personal application. But again, this is an idea to try on for size. If looking at time a little differently helps you, then this is a great strategy. Here are a few tips on giving yourself more time from some other articles that I've read. So instead of have time, use the phrase make time. I don't have time for pictures. Change to I don't make time for my pictures. We make our own free time. It doesn't just show up on its own. Blocking things out. I'm not doing anything else on Friday. If anyone asks me, I am not doing anything else on Friday, right? This is my free time. This is my time. Delete anything that's excessive, meaning too much, whether that's TV or Facebook or whatever. Delete anything you're duplicating. I mentioned that a minute ago. Multiple shopping trips. Is there something that you could kind of cut down on so that you just only have to do it once? Consolidate, like meal prep or errands. Make a plan to do what you want. Delegate. Is there someone else who could do this, or is it something I have to do? Say no. And then keep in mind that we always find time for what's most important to us. The example I always think of is birthday presents. I'm a busy person, but I will always buy my children birthday presents. I will find time to make sure that they have birthday presents no matter how busy I am, right? That's important to me, so I make sure that I make time for it. All right, here is strategy idea number 4. This one is really helpful, especially if you've got a lot to do. This strategy is to focus on one thing at a time, so avoid overwhelm. If you have a lot to do, just focus on one thing at a time because the rest of it will still be there. It can be easy to feel overwhelmed, but don't give in to that temptation. Jody Moore has a great podcast, and she said, overwhelm is just an emotion created by our brains to conserve energy. When we think, oh, I just have so much to do, it's an energy conservation thing. We don't think about it. We're just overwhelmed, right? So she said, our brains try to sell us on overwhelm because being overwhelmed is easier than figuring things out. We conserve energy when we're overwhelmed. I thought that was a really interesting perspective, an interesting thing to think about and keep in mind. So again, just focus on one thing. All right, try this idea on for size. Strategy idea number 5 is to start small or start easy or start fun. You don't know where to start. Start with last year, start from where you left off in your memory keeping, start with a recent event or just a small project, a little gift of some kind, or what just sounds the most fun to start with. Start there and the momentum will propel you forward. So now that you've completed one yearbook, where would you go next? Last year, the most fun, a couple of years ago, oh, we went on this big trip. That will be so fun or whatever, right? So consider moving forward using start small, start easy, or start fun. Number 6 is to catch up with the 2-in-1 plan. Sometimes we wonder if we'll ever catch up on our photos because while past photos are waiting for our attention, life goes on and we still take more photos. So if you have a lot of photos and memories to catch up, organizing, storing, and preserving, the 2-in-1 plan might be for you. You preserve 2 years worth of photos and memories in 1 year, and then you just repeat as needed until you're caught up. It looks like this. In the first 6 months, you preserve the freshest memories. All right. So you preserve photos and memories from this year. During the first month, you do January and February, second month, March and April, and on. And then you've preserved 1 year in 6 months. In the second 6 months, you focus on cherished memories. So you preserve photos and memories from another year of your choosing. And again, in the first month of this, you'll do January, February, and then on. That way, in 12 months, in 1 year, you've preserved 2 years worth of photos and memories. So it's a really nice way to catch up that is a little less intensive than the 4-week Yearbook Boot Camp. You could do the 4-week Yearbook Boot Camp for your current memories, or, you know, you could kind of mix and match as fits. So strategy idea number 7 is the yearbook method. That's the one that we are doing sort of. It's a yearbook, but the yearbook method is a little bit different. So, you know, the way yearbooks are laid out, it's chronological. So you already know where all the pictures go, right? The Halloween pictures go in the October pages, right? Traditional yearbooks are designed with 2-page spreads for each month of the year. So you can add more pages as needed, or you can just stick with a 2-page per month design. That's what I call the yearbook method, just 2 pages per month, to help you pare down photos and just choose your favorites. Now, this idea is one that maybe not be for everyone, right? There are some people who cannot pare, I'm one of them, cannot pare down pictures to just be on 2 pages. So if this is not a strategy that works well for you, that's just fine. But the yearbook itself can be, even if you don't do the yearbook method of just 2 pages per month, the yearbook itself can be a really great way of preserving memories because you kind of already know where all the pictures go, which is nice. And then, of course, Yearbook Boot Camp. I normally run Yearbook Boot Camp every week or 2, but if you have a group of at least 5 friends who would attend, you can request your own private Yearbook Boot Camp. We can do the same thing with some friends. And the cool thing about that is that with you as host, your guests can open their forever accounts at your referral link. And as you know from opening your own forever account, you get $20. All your friends would get a $20 coupon. But the cool thing about using your referral link is you get one too. So if you have 5 friends who want to do a yearbook boot camp, I can set it all up. But when I tell people to open their forever accounts, I give them your referral link. So if you have 5 friends, that's $100 in coupons, and that you have 60 days to use, right? So you could make a yearbook or 2 in that time. So a really good thing to keep in mind, a great strategy. All right, last one. Try this one on for size. Idea number 8 is create your own memory keeping group, right? You are definitely not the only one who needs and wants to work on photos. So invite some friends. Think girls' night. If you're working digitally, it's so easy to just bring a laptop, right? This could be in person or online. If you have a group of friends in your neighborhood or, you know, whatever, church or whatever, then, you know, you can invite people on a Thursday night once a month to your kitchen table. Or if you have friends, cousins, whatever, you know, across the country, you could always do something online. One easy way to gather your group is to host a class, right? I can teach everybody about Forever, kind of give them the rundown, how everything works. I can teach any strategy, class, solution, or topic that you want. I love when people come to me with like, okay, we want photo organization tips or whatever. It's kind of cool. And then your friends, the attendees, can get together regularly after that to keep working. You can create your own memory keeping group sorry. So if you and your friends are looking for more creativity and flexibility, like moving pictures wherever you want to and changing fonts, etc., one of the classes that I can teach is about Artisan, which is Forever's amazing digital scrapbooking software. Right now, you're using Design and Print, which is so convenient and fast and amazing. And it takes like, you know, a minute and a half to learn how to use. Artisan, there's a ton that you can do with that. And so I I can teach a class about that. You will not learn how to use Artisan in a minute and a half. There's so much that you can do. You can see over here, there's a pencil and a bow and stuff. You can drag each pencil and bow and flower exactly where you want it, and etc. So anyway, that is one option for a class that I can teach. And again, remember the referrals rewards that I mentioned a minute ago, using your forever referral link. It's the same idea if you start a memory keeping group. I've got this flyer that I can send you if you would like. Just let me know. The flyer has all the details. All right, that's it. So those are your 8 strategies for consistency. I would say pick, 2 or 3 or 5 of your favorite ones, and see how they can help you stay caught up on your photos. So for now, we are going to head over to design and print and keep working on our projects. I don't know, I might end the recording here. I'm going to pause it for sure. If we have some other questions that I think would be relevant to you all watching the recording, I will come back on and say a couple of things. Otherwise, thank you for attending Yearbook Boot Camp. I hope it's made a world of difference and given you some great ideas and possibilities for preserving your photos and staying caught up doing them. All right, well, we just worked. We didn't have any questions, so I guess I will just end here. If you have some catching up to do, remember you've got that Yearbook Boot Camp worksheet with a bunch of resources and links if you need a refresher on anything. And then you just order your book and celebrate. So thank you for attending. It's always so much fun for me to see something come together, a completed project. And so I hope you have enjoyed it as much as I have. Thanks.